Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Love Your Vibe podcast. I'm your host, Sean Grant. Been real busy of late and hadn't had a chance to get on here as much, but I hope that changes real soon and I can continue to bring you some life-changing, eye-opening, conscious-based content. That's a tongue twister. Anyway, I just want to get right into it today. And so the beauty of life is that life presents you with so many opportunities to not only use for yourself, but it presents you with opportunities to use them to teach others. That way, not only just one person can be learning a lesson throughout an experience, but so many people can. And that's why I started this podcast, because I feel like I'm really great at taking the lessons and the experiences that I've learned and teaching them to other people while I'm basically going through it and integrating it as a valuable tool in my life at the same time. So, without further ado, I'm here, and today's topic is it's your life, your dream, so live it. And so the reason that I wanted to talk about this today is because oftentimes we can get caught up in living somebody else's dream. And that can be with a job, that can be with a spouse, that can be with our immediate family. We often find ourselves doing stuff that is working towards someone else's dream, but not really working towards ours. And a great example of this, it's happened a number of times in my life, but the beauty of it is you can always get back on track. But I'll share a couple of those times when this has happened. So I can remember as I was in my adolescent years, and I was playing football for a very long time, and yeah, actually, you know what? It's a little bit longer, probably a little bit more time after that. I actually injured myself and I couldn't play ball anymore. And it seemed as if I was basically just thrown on the back burner as far as my family was concerned. And so, my mom was going through a bit of an emotional time at that moment. And, I felt like I was the one who was designated to basically be her caretaker, in a sense, her caretaker emotionally. And what that did, while the rest of my brothers, my three other brothers, were living their lives, living their dreams, going to school, doing different things, working this, working that, in different parts of the world or the country, for that matter. I was here, there rather, with my mom, just basically not really being able to live my dream until I decided that I was going to take it into my own hands. And that's when I developed a career as an actor and then as a trainer and then some other things I kind of got into because I decided to take charge. I wanted to definitely help my mom, and that's what I did. But I also had to realize, okay, I'm not here by default. I'm not here to say, okay, well, my life is done. I can't play football anymore. No. I had to take a step back and I asked myself, Sean, what do you really want in life? What do you really want to do? And one of the things that came up is I really want to perform. That's why I got into sports, because I love to perform. And I followed that passion. I followed that divine lead into a truly wonderful career on camera. And it was all because I decided that I wasn't going to live somebody else's dream. So that's a really great example. Another example is in a different arena, and it was while I was working. I was working for this gym, and so when I first started, I was so excited and so amped up about the vision that the gym had, and I wanted to give everything I can because I almost saw myself as a face of this product, a face of this entity. And so I married my soul to it, and you all may know what that's like. You just kind of dive in and you do everything for the company. Well, the company's pulling in about $60,000 a month, and I don't have anything to show for it. I'm just kind of breaking even, maybe having a little bit more than enough to cover my bills. And I'm like, this place is thriving. And so almost a little bit over 2 years into it, I realized that I had completely abandoned my dream. I took on this dream and somebody else's vision and was working so hard on it and doing such a great job that I totally forgot about the things that I wanted. Well, as you probably know what happened next, I took another step back. I realized I had to do more for myself. So what did I do? I got into a coaching practice and I started coaching on the life lessons that I've learned. I wrote a book. I actually recorded an album. What else did I do? I wrote more. I started a blog. I did all these things. I started shooting videos, showing off different types of fitness exercises. And it was because I was living for myself more so. I was living my dream as opposed to somebody else's. And all while I was doing this, I was still devoting time and still devoting 120% effort to the business that I was associated with. But now it was me first. And I think that's the biggest thing we have to learn today is it comes down to me first. And sometimes we're taught that this is selfish because we understand this when we come into the world. A lot of times babies know how to get their needs met. But then as they get older, and I say as they, I mean we kind of forget how to get everything met that we need. And sometimes we can also get caught up into these patterns that basically sabotage us into believing that everybody else has to be first before we decide to take care of us. But see, there's no truth to that. That's a complete lie. You've got to make sure, you have to make sure that everything that you need is completely taken care of. Everything that you need is on point before you decide that you can start taking care of other people. And this was a hard lesson for me to learn because it happened over and over and over. And once again, another great thing about life and the soul is that the soul will allow you to repeat stuff until you actually get it. And so until I was able to say, no, Sean first, everybody else afterwards, that is when things started to happen in my life, because what the signal I'm sending to the universe when I say me first is that I love myself. And if I have an immeasurable amount of self-love, an unconditional amount of self-love in my life, what's going to happen is the universe wants that to overflow into other people. So it's going to bring people into my life. It's going to bring circumstances into my life to allow me to show more of that self-love and to allow that to permeate into anything else that I come into contact with. One of the greatest concepts ever, truly fantastic when you finally get the gist of it and you can really embrace and embody that concept. And that's what it comes down to. So the question you have to ask yourself is, what's my dream? What's my purpose? I'm definitely down to help people out because we got to stick together as human beings. We're all connected on a deeper divine level. But what's my dream? What makes me go? What really puts me in a position to say, you know what, I want to go after that. I want to do that. I'm going to make that happen. That's what you have to ask yourself, not only every day, sometimes even multiple times per day. And you just move with it. You find that target. That target will create that clarity. But you're also willing to be flexible as you're on that path. So it opens up so many different opportunities to you. That way you're in a place to where you're completely fluid and you're completely dynamic and you're willing to work on your dream. You're willing to work on yourself. You're willing to flourish within first before you start to focus without. So if there's an area, or if you're at a time in your life, rather, where you know that you're giving so much of yourself. Parents, if you're parents, I know it's hard sometimes because you love your kids, they're your everything, and they require a lot of time. But at the same time, are you putting your dreams on hold and your needs on hold to meet your kids' needs? Because if you are, that's complete sabotage, because what's going to happen is resentment's going to come up later down the road, and we don't want that. We want to have complete unconditional love for each other. So, but if you find yourself in that position, take a step back. Figure out what it is that you desire, what it is that makes your heart sing is a better way to put it. And then start taking steps towards that within the time that you decide to devote to your kids. Sometimes you just got to send them away. Same with family, same with spouses. Sometimes, one spouse decides to devote all the time to the other, and then there's no time for that spouse to really pursue whatever it is that they want. Take a step back. Be like, sweetheart, I know I've helped you, and I'm going to continue to help you, but I got to do my own thing, because if not, then my soul will be unhappy, and it's all about fulfilling my soul first, because then if I can do that, then I can be greater for you, and then that makes that a completely magnificent relationship from that point, because both people are following their purpose. All right? So, with that being said, that kind of covers everything I wanted to talk on today. Don't get caught up in the mix. Refuse to be cast down and to not be allowed to see that your dreams are so valid, your dreams are so important, your dreams are so needed in this world. Use your gifts, use your talents, use your intuition, use your ability to strive all the way to them. And from there, you will see the simple process of you becoming who you were truly meant to be will make the world a better, more wonderful, greater place, right? And that all comes from following your dream, following your life path, following your purpose, and living it with joy. When you do that, everything will fall into place the way that it needs to. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today on the Love Your Vibe podcast. It's been an amazing time. As always, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.